In 1990, Charles Philip Moore decided to make a horror film about Satan breaking wind. What? That's not what this is about? Are you sure? Alright, apparently this is actually about a group of friends who go to a cabin in the middle of nowhere to investigate the death of their friend's grandparents under severely mysterious circumstances. This is my review of Demon Wind. The movie begins with what solicitors are greeted by when they approach my house.
This girl! Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb?
Well, I'm suitably unsettled. Good job, end the movie. This is the home of Regina, played by Stella Kastner, and George, played by Axel Tue. They're apparently dealing with a demonic infestation, and things don't go well. So Regina takes a page from the Michael Bay handbook. Fast forward several decades later, and we meet Corey, played by Eric Larson, and his girlfriend Elaine, played by Francine Lapanse, who I have to say reminds me a lot of Patrick Swayze and Tu Wong Fu. Not that that's a bad thing. Is this Children of the Corn now? Instead of he who walks behind the rose, we get she who points stick at car.
I've been here before.
What?
In a dream.
Oh no, that's okay, man. I don't need to see your dreams. After Corey pulls himself out of his nightmare flashback, they ask the stereotypical foreboding warning personified for directions, but receive none, so they go into the diner instead.
Hey, Harmon.
Now I know what y'all are thinking, but all I'm thinking of is how itchy those must be.
We have beer, Coke, water, and goat's milk.
Forget the old man, this is a red flag. I have not seen a single goat. Where are you getting that milk from? It's probably the same place where they're getting those 50-cent fish burgers. Still probably better than the filet of fish. Harriet here, played by Kim Santel, won't be giving them directions either, but does ask if they know little Linda. God, I hope not. Dell, played by Bobby Johnston, and Terry, played by Lynn Clark, arrive first and give us a reason to hate public displays of affection. Next, we meet Bonnie, played by Sherry Lee, and Jack, played by the late Mark David Fritchie. Now Corey tells them why he called them out here. Apparently, he found his long-lost father, and shortly after, his father game-ended himself. So Corey did some digging and found some odd occurrences that happened at his ancestral farm that he wants to find answers to. Cue old man to warn and threaten them again, this time with a gun. However, he caves pretty quickly and tells Corey which way to go. That was a waste of some good backcountry ominousness. Before the group heads out, we're introduced to two more of Corey's friends. Stacy, played by Jack Forsanito, and Chuck, played by Stephen Quadros. Well, I think it would be a lot easier just to show you instead of trying to describe it.
Gentlemen, easy now. Easy now. Don't hurt the rabbit.
Yes, exactly who we need on this potentially dangerous adventure. Magicians who know karate. Upon arriving at the farm, the first thing they're greeted with is this. And despite it being yet another literal warning, they continue forward. Hey Corey, any chance we can wait till Ancestry.com is invented?
It's my dad's older brother. How do you know that?
I saw it in an ominous vision when the skull zapped me with bad CGI effects. Dell, why can't you take this seriously?
Somebody deranged wandered through here, tortured whoever it is in that cross, and set fire to the house. They almost had died in the fire.
Thank God Sherlock Holmes in a puffer vest is here to wrap this one up for us. Alright, who put drugs in those drinks earlier?
It's my grandmother.
I don't think this is what Elaine had in mind when Corey asked her to meet his family. Oh look! Strange Latin scrawled on the wall. Surely no one would be stupid or educated enough to read it out loud.
Nunc protesta Santana vivet.
Son of a bitch!
Thanks, Bonnie. Now the cars won't start, so they have to walk back to the gas station. Problem is, this mysterious fog won't let them leave the farm. And neither will these creepy little girls.
You
Lied.
I'm gonna need a little more of a reaction from you guys on this. I guess their only option is to spend the night in the cabin and make the best of things. And pretend like one of their friends didn't just combust into flames after being turned into a Cabbage Patch Kid. While cleaning the place up, Corey finds his grandmother's diary, which leads him to 2 daggers, which are a part of a set. If you have all 7, then you can kill the son of Satan. Gee, I wonder what we'll be dealing with as our final boss. Corey gives everyone a little history lesson with the information in the diary. Apparently there was some Satan worshipping and sacrifices going on that started all of this. Speaking of, while everyone else gets knocked out by the fog, Chuck and Stacy are faced with a titty demon, played by the porn actress Tiffany Million, trying to lure them outside. Personally, I think this demon is barking up the wrong tree. These two are together. Bisexual at the very least. So what choice do the boys have but to go outside with guns? No, really, let's list the options they had.
I have something for you.
Ew! Absolutely not. Instant boner killer. Honestly, Chuck and Stacy don't do too bad against the mustard-filled demonically possessed, but do still eat it. Naturally, that's when everyone else wakes up. Well, all they can do now is explore the rest of the cabin and discuss whether or not to tell the others about Grandma's spells and daggers. That's what you get for feeling your unconscious girlfriend up. It's apparently time for some new characters to show up. You know, since we've already killed 3. So this is Willie, played by Richard Gabay, and Rena, played by Mia M. Ruiz. I'm gonna assume their invite from Corey got lost in the mail, and that's why they're a whole day late. Doesn't matter because now they're stuck here too. I guess Del and Terry are gonna try again to get help. Great fucking timing, guys. The sun is going down.
They're dead.
Grandmother? What are the demons afraid of?
Corey's grandmother may have known some witchcraft, but she's not very good at communicating after death. Instead of waiting for the demonic shit to start again, the group elects to investigate the barn since both Bonnie and Corey's grandmother had mentioned it.
I'll get the flashlights.
I'll get the shotgun.
And I'm getting the fuck out of here. Actually, Del and Terry are proving that that's impossible, if not deadly.
But I loved you.
Is this what the Amish mean when they say raise a barn? Meanwhile, in the surprisingly intact interior of the barn, the group discovers some very obvious sacrificial shit. Or according to Corey, an altar to the devil. Let's be honest, it can also be Bubba Sawyer. A skull promptly crushes Rena's skull. Now it's time for the possessed Chuck and Stacy to show up and terrorize the group. Corey uses one of the daggers to ward them off and allow them to escape the barn, except for Willie. On the bright side, the daggers are effective in dispatching the demons. And some of Corey's grandmother's protection spells still work. Unfortunately, they only have 1 dagger left, and those spells have the same staying power as chiclets. Corey, Elaine, and Jack do their best to defend themselves against the demonic horde, but Jack does get bit in the process. Zombie rules apply here, I guess. While Corey continues to play Whack-A-Demon, Elaine goes to get the diary, and Jack, only to be confronted by a demonically possessed version of her friend, who proceeds to grope her until she stabs him with a dagger, which turns him back into a human, then a child, then an infant, and then a dove. For some reason. It's a metaphor, man. It's really deep. All Corey and Elaine can do now is essentially brace for a horrendous death. That is until the Grand Demon, played by CDJ, Coco, appears, and calls all the other demons to him. This is the same guy who was at the gas station, by the way, and I guess was also the priest who started all this to begin with?
I will be done.
Now, what in the Star Trek is going on here? Aside from throwing Corey around, the Grand Demon also seems to like to play mind games.
You're terrified of us because we're alive.
Psst. Corey, ain't many of you alive right now. I don't think that counter stands too well.
Burn this abomination. Cleanse it from thy blessed earth. No. Thy will be done.
So, that's all it took, huh? And the reason Corey's grandmother couldn't do this was family-faced demons, blew up the cabin, died. Sole remaining descendant visits cabin, faces demons, and blows the cabin up again. Well, this spell destroyed the conglomerate demon and turned Corey back, as well as saving Well, just them. Everyone else died. Horrifically. And I guess there's one loose end to take care of before they can leave. It could too. And with that, the credits roll. You know, the makeup effects really don't look bad. The demons are pretty unique in how they're presented, and the kills look good for what they are. Male nudity and horror. The movie does have a certain charm to it. It's weird and makes very little sense, but it can be a fun watch with friends. The poster's fun. I'm trying here, man. Remember when the diary mentioned 7 total daggers that could defeat the son of Satan? And then Corey and Elaine were able to defeat the boss demon with literally none of the daggers? Yeah. While some of the characters are kind of interesting, none of them were interesting enough for me to be fully invested in them. And those who weren't interesting were literally just present to be Demon Chow. We need 2 more characters in here. But we're over halfway through the movie. Where would they come from? Corey's got a cousin from Atlanta. Who cares? Let's go. The acting is not good, to say the least. There's moments of overacting like a motherfucker, and then underacting to an utterly stupid degree. How about that dialogue, huh? I don't think Charles Philip Moore knows what humans interacting sounds like. Actually, I'm not sure Moore knows what humans are. With all that being said, I'm giving Demon Wind 4.5 out of 10 bloody thumbs up. As it's been said several times before, this is what happens when someone watches The Evil Dead once and thinks they can do better. The film was shot in about 24 days, and there were a plethora of issues that the cast and crew encountered. Apparently, a lot of random short ends were used instead of full-length film, in order to save on cost. Obviously, that didn't make things terribly easy or good. For those who don't know, short ends are the scraps of film left over from other projects. When I first watched Demon Wind, it was because of Joe Bob Briggs, and I really didn't have much knowledge of horror films at the time. Since then, it's actually moved up just a bit in how I rate it. It's still a terrible horror movie, but there are plenty of far worse ones. There's enough cheese here that makes it entertaining, especially, as I said, if you get friends together to make fun of it. If you'd like to hear me talk more about this film, then go over to Podcast in the Woods. They were kind enough to invite me on to discuss Demon Wind, so go give it a listen. I would recommend Demon Wind to forgotten horror film enthusiasts, demon fans, those of you looking for a good laugh, and anyone who would like to see demon titties. See you later. If you're looking for more demon films, check out my reviews of these horror movies. Thank you to my patrons Michael Musail, Bronson Wright Wolf, Diana Mo, Sean Sheridan, and Raiders AK for supporting the channel.